Hello. How are you doing today? I am excited to talk to you today about financial literacy. And also, most importantly, what I love discussing is how to get rid of debt. But most importantly, what you have to understand is, as we look at this screen, is with your personal finances, one, you have to be realistic with the situation. And I picked this article on purpose today because when we talk about getting rid of debt, we have to understand how serious it is and how important it is to get rid of debt. And this article that we're looking at today puts a lot of things in perspective. And it talks about the debt situation in America. We see some highlights here. It says the average debt in America is $104,215 across mortgages, auto loans, student loans, and credit cards. Interesting fact there when we look at these averages, and debt peaks between age 40 and 49 among consumers with excellent credit scores. Think about that. Why would people with excellent credit scores have the highest level of debt from ages 40 to 49? Now, depending on what age you are, you can really look at this and see how it affects you or how it may affect you in the next few years or how it has affected you depending on what age you are. I think it's important to know that and also be aware of this. So if you have excellent credit, it does give you access to more potential credit slash debt. And so how you're using it, you have to be very wise. Just because you have access to it doesn't mean that you need to use it. Now, the largest percentages of the average consumer debt balances are mortgages, of course, because your mortgage balance isn't going to be as your mortgage balance is going to be bigger than whatever credit card balance you have if you have a mortgage, if you are a homeowner. Now, one thing I want to look at is average debt by age. So when we look at average debt by age, Gen Z, we see around almost $30,000 worth of debt. Millennials, about 125,000. Gen Z, of course, we see it gets higher. Once again, here we have that age range around that close to 40 to 49 age range where the debt is higher. Baby boomers, the debt is decreased a little bit lower, and then the silent generation much lower. So look at this and see where you are in your personal financial situation and understand what the economy is going through and how credit card debt is at an all-time high right now. So we need to be very wise with accumulating consumer debt. Now, there are more stats on here when it talks about the average debt for what your potential credit score is again. So we do see people with the higher scores do have the higher debt because you have access to. So just because you have the higher score and you have access to more debt doesn't mean you should acquire it. So I think that's something that we should pay attention to. And even there's some more stats on here on the state that you're in, the state that you live in. Now, quite naturally, think about this. The states that have mortgages that cost more, when the cost of living, the cost of properties cost more, then yes, your average debt is probably going to be higher because the average person takes 30 years to pay off a mortgage. And that's if you don't refinance that mortgage. Now, if you refinance that mortgage, there's no telling how many times you're going to end up paying for that house. So I think it's wise to figure out how can you get rid of debt? What can you do to solve this situation and not become another statistic that had a difficult time with getting rid of consumer debt, getting rid of a mortgage? Now, there's a great company called Accelerated Banking with the Kwok brothers. And if you are serious about paying off your mortgage in about 5 to 7 years, I would definitely recommend that you give them I won't say give them a call, but click get started and realize and learn how can you get rid of this debt? How can you pay off your mortgage faster and potentially If you have any consumer debt, consolidate that debt and get rid of it as well. I will put a link in the bio, in the description. And in that link in the description, feel free, click on that link and schedule a free assessment. They will give you a free financial assessment. That way you can see if accelerated banking using that HELOC strategy will work for you. And of course, most people it does. Definitely, you see these different testimonies down here. Give yourself a chance to be one of the people that have a testimony of how you are now debt free through using accelerated banking with the Kwok brothers. And remember to tell them that Coach Steele, Simon Steele sent you, and you can thank me later.